We're in Illinois getting our kicks on Route 66, touring a decommissioned ironworks site and an old prison that also happens to be a movie set. Route 66 is probably the most famous stretch of road in the U.S. I would argue it's the most fascinating as well. Back in 1926, this was the scenic route running from Chicago to Los Angeles. Scattered along the 2,448 miles of roadway were diners, giants, dinosaurs, drive-in movie theaters, hotels, and so much more. John Steinbeck wrote about the road in The Grapes of Wrath. That's also where her nickname came about, the Mother Road. Route 66 was decommissioned in 1985. In 1999, a national Route 66 preservation bill was signed to preserve and restore the historic attractions along the Mother Road. We started our adventures with the Route 66 Mining Museum, but it wasn't open. We continued on to the shop on Route 66 in Gardner, Illinois. The shop is filled with Coca-Cola memorabilia, old toys, Route 66 guides, and tons of childhood memories. Across the street is the two-cell jail. It's a small building from 1906 with, you guessed it, 2 jail cells.
Few steps away is the Riviera Restaurant. This restored streetcar is here in memory of the Riviera Roadhouse that burned down in 2010.
We jumped back in the truck and headed over to the Polka Dot Drive-In. You can sit in an old diner booth and sip a milkshake, or stroll outside for some photo ops with Elvis, Superman, Marilyn, Betty Boop, or the Blues Brothers.
Wrong number. Across the street from the diner is Braidwood Zoo. These animals seem to be caged just like any other zoo. The difference here is that these guys were designed by nearby artists. A giraffe, cow, pink elephant, polar bear, steer, and some other kind of hunk of metal all make up this attraction. One of our last stops was to see Nellie's on Route 66. After a couple pictures, we decided to end the night with a local craft beer at Old School Brewing. They have at least one cider for those who are gluten-free.
Initially, we were doing all our Route 66 research with Google and, whatever we could find online. But then we stopped at the shop on Route 66, and he gave us this book. Now, this one is specifically for Illinois, but it's very cool because it's divided into 3 different sections, northern, central, and southern. And it tells you, some of the different stops. It shows pictures, and there's a map that comes with it. So it's very helpful, much better than Google. So as you go to different states and you go to different stops, see if they have one of these books, because it'll make life so much easier. We really wanted to see the Gemini Giant, but he was moving locations when we were in the area, so we missed him. We wanted to visit the Juliet Area Historical Museum and Route 66 Welcome Center, but Google told us it was closed today. So we're like, it's okay, let's go over there, we can take a picture. And then we get there and it's open. So
Google.
Fail.
Not doing so hot.
That's okay. We were happy to see that it was open. It is free to walk around, check out the place. The second level, I think, has kind of a local museum. And that one you do have to pay $8 per person. Although not officially part of Route 66, we are checking out the world's first Dairy Queen. But we're not going in because it's closed.
And we're not buying anything.
After our trip to DQ, we headed over to Rich and Creamy on 66, another ice cream shop. This one is open, but we didn't get any ice cream. On our way, we discovered Dick's on 66. It's a towing company with antique vehicles, including a police car. The other cool thing was that it had some bricks from the original Route 66. So we got a chance to walk along authentic Route 66 roadway.
Behind Rich and Creamy is Route 66 Park. We meandered through the park for a little bit and found more photo ops.
A side trip to our Route 66 excursion takes us to Juliet Ironworks historic site. Are you coming down?
Yeah, let's stay up here. Got a good view up here.
I bet you do. So I'm way down here. He's way up there. We gotta kind of reconnect here. There is a 1.5-mile self-guided trail with interpretive signs offering a look at the working conditions for those employed by the then second largest steel mill in the United States. It's a pretty grim read with stories of sadness and inequality. History isn't always pretty, and this place proves it. When you're walking along the path, make sure you look down because there are bricks and they'll tell you a little bit of history.
Wright brothers developed the airplane in 1903.
And this is how he knew that. The Joliet Iron and Steel Works operated from 1869 to 1936 before shutting its doors. Since the structures are unstable, they ask you to stay off them, but there are still plenty of places to explore. If you're interested in a longer hike, the area connects with the I&M Canal Trail, which runs over 7.5 miles.
Old Joliet Prison is next on our list. Again, non-official Route 66 attraction, but still absolutely a must-see. Preservation and construction are always ongoing in this prison, but we'll get to that a little bit later. They do offer a behind-the-scenes artifacts tour, but we elected to do a self-guided tour. We like to travel on our own pace.
You guys already have your maps. Yeah. Do you have any questions before walking around?
Nope.
I'll just watch you step around.
Okay, thank you.
We're at the Old Joliet Prison. Ryan's peeking in windows. There's broken glass up there. The way this works is you can buy your tickets online or you can just come in, buy them at the front. If you buy them ahead of time, you don't actually get to like cut a line or anything. You still have to stand there and wait for everyone. And so they wait till like everyone's bought their ticket, everyone that's like walked in, and then they go through the spiel for everyone. Anyway, so then you have to go around the building and come around, and then someone else checks your map, which
She's
is
already
your
like,
ticket.
come on.
I'm like, we bought ours, let's go. Only because you have to sign up for a certain time, and then you have a window. It's not like you can just stay here as long as you want. So it's from 1 to 2:30 is what our window is.
Gotta move, gotta go.
And everything's not open. It is an active construction site. Couple other things to note. One, you can only have clear bags here and it can only be like 5 by 8 or something like that. Also, there are 2 different areas here that you are not allowed to close the door, because if you do, including solitary confinement, the door will lock automatically and they don't have keys.
They have to call the fire department and break you out, and I guess if there's any damages done, you get to pay for it.
So don't close any doors.
Now, don't listen to your mom this time. Right now, leave it all open.
Pretend like you were born in a barn.
I guess the clear plastic bag too, maybe it's also so you don't take anything out as well.
If you find any artifacts on the ground, I don't know.
That's what back pockets are for. This is spooky.
Oh my.
That thing's holding on by a light.
Can can I take your order?
The good news is at least they have first aid kits, so the amount of damage and broken glass and broken everything else, you got a Band-Aid. You're good to go. Just don't lock a door.
Uh-oh, someone tried to escape.
Oh, yeah.
The prison opened its doors to 53 prisoners in May of 1858. By 1878, the prison was bursting at the seams with nearly 2,000 inmates, well over capacity. I can't imagine what this place looked like with that many people crammed inside the gates. By 1926, a new prison was erected just down the road. The majority of the inmates moved there, but Joliet Prison kept her doors open until 2002 when budget cuts hit the area. Now, she's a tourist attraction.
Here's your showers. Bathroom.
In old homes, they have popcorn ceilings. In old prisons, they have what looks like potato chip ceilings.
Whoa. Wow.
The graffiti in the cafeteria was done by a professional to help boost the spirits of the inmates. Personally, I think you should avoid doing anything that lands you in prison to keep your spirits up, but nobody asked me. The east cell block is closed, so west cell, here we go. Oh my. Oh, it's very cool.
Holy crap. It's really cool.
It actually looks like leaves are hanging down. It makes me think of something you'd find in like a kindergarten classroom or something. Well, maybe kindergarten hallway. I'm sure there's no lead in that. There's no asbestos here. Oh, that looks very modern.
Except for the peeling paint.
Well, yeah, besides that. What's your problem?
Yeah, switches and everything, outlets, cable. Yeah, there's cable right there.
Because prisons serve people.
Don't even think about closing the door.
Tempting.
They got themselves a mirror. I mean, what's not to like?
Uh-huh.
I don't like watching somebody do their business.
Here, let me get you some light.
Can't tell.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, it keeps going. That's just all the connections in between each one. Plumbing and everything.
And then it goes down.
Wow.
Don't. Okay. Here's the Southwest Florida one. 239, represent. There you go. There's your cell. I have to confess, I don't remember what two doors they said not to close. I remember solitary confinement, and I don't remember the other one. But then going through here, I see there's a door right here. I'm like, okay, what if someone closes it? And then we're stuck.
Should have been so freaked out about closing a door in my entire life.
You just want to pay close attention. It's much darker down here too. You never know what to expect. Like that.
Yeah, this one's locked.
Did someone close it?
Yeah, that one's locked.
Oh, here you go.
Hello?
Did you lock yourself inside?
Do you want to come out?
Too bad. When you meet someone who wants to get in really badly.
Wow, they tried every possible way to get in that door. Who remembers what this was? Cheese grinder, right? Can't believe they actually still have this. Somebody didn't take it off. It's like an antique.
This is North Segregation, originally known as the Tombs. It was the first structure built at the prison in 1858. And the second row was for death row. Yep, that's where death row inmates went. We're just wrapping up our tour over at the prison, and we were talking to one of the workers here, and she was saying how a couple of things. One is that the reason this place is deteriorating so quickly is because looters came in, they broke the windows, and so now all these buildings are open to the elements. So it's gone downhill pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, all the keys and people's belongings, I guess in 2002 when this place shut down, it actually had everything still left. Like all the workers and everything like that were expecting to come back. And so everything just got left behind. And so people's, even car keys and other stuff were still in the building. All the keys to open up the jail cells and everything like that were still in the building. And looters came in and like stole everything and stole all the stuff. And so this place just fallen apart. They've had a tornado that hit one of the buildings and collapsed the roof. And that was just what?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah. It was not 3 weeks ago.
And there were 2 fires, so there's an area called, I think they call it like Burn District. So that's another one, like Ryan was saying, where people had left their stuff because like, oh, I gotta come back to work tomorrow. And in 2013 and then in 2017, arsonists came in, started fires. So people lost their personal belongings, plus lost everything that was, here on site.
And the fire department couldn't get in because there was no keys to be able to get into the place too. And so luckily the police department, they were watching the arsonists, seeing them, they were actually getting on top of the second floor, somehow like climbing a fence, getting up underneath it and then getting in here and causing all the destruction. The police were able to get the fire department in, so. Yeah,
based on following what the, people that were breaking in, what they were doing.
There's also 2 kids that broke in. They got locked into a jail cell for one night, and then they end up spending jail in a real jail.
Yeah.
Or in a jail that was open, I should say.
A modern jail.
Modern jail that was
I guess
open.
they were too afraid to call anyone, so they stayed overnight in the jail, and then finally they realized they have to call someone, and they couldn't get the door open, even meaning like the fire department, so they had to take the whole face off, and so the girl's parents had to pay for all that damage.
Good chunk of change.
Plus, actually.
Fees and everything else,
yeah.
For you Blues Brothers fans, this is the prison in the movie. Unfortunately, the walls started collapsing in the famous exit scene, so it's off limits to visitors at this time.
Oh, the tunnel system.
Flooded.
A great way to keep people out is to fill it with water. It's awfully green. No one's going down there.
This is like 7 feet tall by like 8 feet wide. Yeah, I don't know if you want to go down there. Unless they suck up all the water, which that's going to be a lot of gallons of water to suck up out of it, because the tunnel system runs around the entire place. So the guards could be able to get to the armory, and so they could be able to move around easily if need be. They didn't even have to be above ground. They could just all go down below ground, get what they need to, and then mobilize themselves to where the problem was. But now it's flooded.
The problem seems to be right here. So the $1 million question remains. Was this tunnel flooded on accident?
Or on purpose?
The prison we were just at was for men only. The women's prison is actually across the street, and they do the haunted tours. I think right now they're going on like Thursday and Saturday. And
why is it that the women's prison is the haunted one?